Hello, everyone. I'm Tahaniat Alam. I'm the Customer Success Lead at Social Champ, and this is the third episode, the third cohort episode with Social Champ, where we'll be talking about collaborations on Social Champ. Before I get started, I am waiting for us to have some audience so that, and anybody who is listening and has so far joined us, let me know if I'm audible. Leave your comments below in the comment section so that I know that I have built some really good audience right here. So meanwhile, you just start interacting with me. I'll just wait up for you all. Okay, so I can only see one viewer at the moment. So let's wait a little. Okay, let's get it through. So I think so we were just looking into my screen and some technical stuff that I'm not very good at. So we'll just deal with that. Meanwhile, okay, so I'm building a good audience now. So I think so we can start with this episode. So while we were actually working on Social Champ, and as you know that we are a very customer driven platform, we always believe that any particular feature or integration that we get on board should be number one, of great help, number two, good in demand, and number three, that our users actually want to see within a social media management and automation tool. And that's exactly where we started building an entire collaboration thing. Now, when you're actually using a social media management tool, you really want it to be able to have your team members, your team, your partners. For example, if you are a product or maybe possibly an agency, you really want all of your clients to be on board. You possibly want all of your products within one place so that you can enjoy the entire management of social media in one space. And that is exactly what Social Champ actually gives you right there. So today, 4 different features that we are going to talk about in this episode. That includes workspaces, team management, shareable calendar, of course with your team, your clients, and shared drafts. Shareable calendar and shared drafts have been a very recent launch within Social Champ. And the reason of building it up has always been a reason to help people to collaborate with their people out there. So I'll just start sharing my screen with you, and we'll see how exactly all these features look within Social Champ. So let's get started with that. Okay, so right here on my screen, you can see the main content dashboard of Social Champ, how it exactly looks once you have signed up. Of course, now once you have actually added all of your social accounts, now you really want to sort them. Now let's imagine, for example, you have 2 different clients on board and you really want to keep both the clients and the social media platforms separate from each another, in order that you not only can track them differently, you can manage them differently, but in case if you want to add a client of yours on board, you really do not want 2 different clients to be present in the same space, knowing the fact that you know what the other person is doing or anything. So to keep the privacy, to keep 2 different client organizations separate, to have 2 different groups of social media platforms, and to possibly different team members for each of them, our first feature, the foremost important feature, is workspaces. So for workspaces within the entire social media platform, you can access them from 2 different places. Either you can go on the top left, click here, and you can find all your created workspaces. If you do not have any one, then Social Champ by default create one workspace for you in which all your added social accounts are present. Then you can further divide or subdivide all your added social accounts and then put them into different workspaces. So right here, you can add a new workspace or you can manage all of them. Or else what you can do, you can go into the settings and you can find the option workspace where you can see all of your workspaces, the set time zones, the creators, post approvals, and so on and so forth. Right here, let's start with creating one. Once again, now for example, we are working on our client one at the moment. So you can start with client A. And for client A, you can choose a particular time zone right here. So for example, I just randomly choose Africa, and then I can decide what time format I want there. 24 hours, 12 hours, that could be you. Another very new amazing feature we got on board is that now your calendar can start either from Sunday or from Monday. that's exactly how you really want to do it for your clients, for your team. So for example, I choose it for Sunday, and then to enable posts or not to enable posts. Quickly telling you about these details. For team members, or when we say team management within Social Champ, we have 3 major roles for the team members. Either they can be an author, they can be an editor, or they can be an admin. Generally, it's only the author who can create all posts but cannot do anything on board except creating and management of different social media posts. That's exactly where an admin, an owner of Social Champ's account, or even an editor, well, not the editor I would say, but the admin and the owner of the Social Champs account can actually assign post approval for the author. So whenever they actually create different posts for a particular social media platform, all the created posts may fall for the approval by the admin or the editor or the owner of the accounts. That's the only rule, or that's the only feature for the author. But if you enable post approvals at the workspace level that you can see right here, and you check this box, then any team member of any particular role, that could be an admin, editor, or an author, all their posts will eventually fall for the approval, and any other admin or editor can actually approve or decline that particular post for the approval. So for example, if I enable right here, it will be for all the team members that would be a part of this particular workspace. So once that is done, you can upload a particular display picture and get ahead with that. Once that's done, now it's the time where you can actually choose all the social accounts of client A to get added into the workspace. So right here, now we'll just simply go, and you have a number of different social media platforms that you can add. For example, I just choose a few of my accounts right here, and I simply go next. So it's just going to confirm that, do I really want to move them from one account to another, and I'm ready to get along with that, and I'm like, okay, perfect, confirm it. Once that's done, now you're done with the first phase, and that's like adding your social accounts. The last phase is like assigning team members. Now once you have your team members on board, now you can decide you want which team member to look after which workspace. The good part is that you really do not have to have a bulk of team members on board to actually handle a different number of workspaces. Social Champ allow all of its users, whether you're from a free plan or any of our paying plan, you will have unlimited workspaces within our Social Champ platform. So now unlimited workspaces really do not want a huge bulk number of team members. What you can do, you can add one team member as an admin to one workspace, maybe like client A, and then you can add the same team member as an editor and author to your client B's workspace. So you can use the same team member on different roles, or maybe on the same role in different workspaces. So right here, exactly, you can just choose a team member, either of them, and then you can simply assign them an admin, editor, and author role. And then if it's an editor, you can choose that, do you really want to, like for example, you have an option to have all the social accounts right there, but for example, as I told before, if you go for the author role, now you have the option to select or deselect different social media platform, and then accordingly post approval would be managed. Like, do you want to enable post approval or disable it? That's totally up to you. So I can enable or I can disable, and then I can do the selection and click finish. Once you click finish, you will have a workspace created with all these social accounts. So just like that, as I was showing before, that these are all the workspaces that you can sort with respect to your personal profiles, with respect to the official profiles, with respect to client A, B, C, T, and so on and so forth. It could be different products of yours. So for example, it's a soap company, and you have different type of soap. So you have like a bathing soap, and then you have dish soap, and then further on. So you can have all these categories, and if you have different social media profiles, accounts for them, then you can add them accordingly. And this is exactly what you can do. Now when you're talking about the clients, what also you can do, that you can add a client as a team member to a particular workspace, so now they can see their own social media platforms, they can see what posts are being created, or what posts are there for approval or declination. So you can decide and ask them to be on an admin role and can approve or decline any kind of posts that are pending in the post approval section as well. So that all could be how you can collaborate as a team, as a company, as an agency, as a client-based organization, as a complete you can say a huge big company with a number of products out there as well. So that all could be done there. Now, as we have talked about team management and workspaces, let's quickly hop on shareable calendar. Shareable calendar is our new feature that has been highly requested by a lot of our client base. They really wanted to be able not to add a client on board, or not to be able to add possibly the head of their company or organization on board, but to have an ability to share the calendar with all the social media posts that have been scheduled for the entire month or for the next 3 months or 6 months, to share with their heads, to share with their clients, so that they can see what's going out in that particular month, and so on and so forth. So for that, we just launched this particular feature that's called Share Calendar. If I click on this Share Calendar option, now you can see that you can create a shared calendar. First, you have to give the name of the calendar. So that could be your client's name. That could be your product's name. That could be, for example, the month name in which you are choosing, like from January to March 2023, and so on and so forth. So you give a particular name to it. Next, you can select a particular social account. So for example, I want the calendar of Twitter and Instagram to be shared with my respective other person or the team. Next, you can choose a date range. Now you have to decide, now you have to decide that you want to share the calendar of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, anything like that. If you even want to share any previous posts, then you can share it in the form of a calendar right here. So you can choose the entire date range from here. So for example, I choose this particular date range, and then I can share it for a view only feature, or you can say limitation of view only. We are currently working on an editor feature as well. So like next time, maybe possibly when you're sharing the link of your shareable calendar, the other person may possibly be able to edit it as well. But for now, we only have the view only option right here. So if I click on this, okay, and then you just put the name and click create. Once you create it, you can see something like this right there. So now this is an entire shareable calendar link that's been created. You can have all your social platforms that you have selected. You can choose your choosing date ranges right here. Now the link sharing could be enabled or disabled. That's totally up to you. So if you really do not want anybody to view it, anybody who has the link, but you really do not want to share it further or view it, then you can disable it, or you can enable it, copy the link, and then share it with the respective person. If I simply go here and paste the link, okay, so I think so it's taking a little time right here. Okay, so now you can see this entire calendar, the date range, the time zone that I have chosen. In that particular time zone, you can say the entire calendar that I really wanted to share with the people. For example, it was June to December to March. So now you can see in December 2022, you have all these social media posts that you really wanted to post with all the images and everything. And then you can say, okay, I want to see what happened in January. So you can see the January post right here. And now you can make a decision that everything that was going out in this one particular, you can say a few weeks time, was good, bad, and how you really want to do these things any further. So like this, the link is going to work. Also, you can delete this link. You can edit this link with respect to the date range, with respect to the name, and so on and so forth. And just like this, you can create further more shareable calendar links here as well. The biggest limit that we have of shareable calendar is for our agency plan users. They can have maximum of 5 shareable calendars. Just like this, you can see on your top left that we will be showing you the plan that you are on and how many shareable calendars are left for you. So right here, you can see the 4 are left for me as I'm on the agency plan. And the limitation decreases with the decrease in the plans. We do not have this option for the free plan users and for the champion plan users. Major reason, I remember I encountered a customer of ours, and they really wanted to know the fact that why it's not available for the free plan users and champion plan users, because it's as simple as that you can always have team members on board and you can add them within your calendar, and an author can see the calendar, an editor can see the calendar, an admin can see the calendar, but sometimes it gets a little tricky and difficult when it comes to an agency, for a bigger organization where a huge number of people out there and you cannot add everybody as a team member. So in that particular time, I think so for a business plan and agency plan and agencies out there and big organizations out there with a huge number of people out there, a huge number of clients out there, I think so this is one particular feature that could be maximum used by bigger organizations, and it's easier for them to collaborate with the people who are actually not with them on Social Champ's platform. So it would be the best and handy useful feature for all the people out there looking for a good collaboration on board with Social Champ. So you can do it right here. Next, we also came up with shareable drafts. So draft have been one feature of Social Champ where you do not want to post a particular content out there, but you really want to save it for the future use, or maybe you really want to reuse it in later time in any other month. But one thing that we actually were missing initially was that only I would know what drafts I have created, but my other team members were not able to know what I have been creating and saving as a draft saved within the platform Social Champ. So we came up with team sharing this time. So if I just go quickly back on publish right here, and this is my main content dashboard right here, if you can see below, you have the option of save draft. You have two different features here, options. You can say that either you keep it as a normal one. Okay, yeah. So you can keep it to yourself. I created a draft, do not want to share it with anybody. I'll just keep it to myself, and I select only me. But now I have created a number of drafts, or you can say a number of posts that I'm not pushing out right now, but I really want to have a consent from my head. I really want to have my content team to look into it before I push it out. Then I can start sharing it with my team. Once I click team sharing, you can also check this particular feature right here. So if I go to save drafts, I have all my drafts right here. So once you have actually assigned team sharing to a particular draft, you can see in your save draft something like this. The option of only me and team sharing could be seen here as well. So any post that any draft that I have actually enabled team sharing will be like visible here in the green color with an enabled toggle button. Rest could be only me, and you can always change this toggle to team anytime that you really want. You're happy with the draft, you really want to make it as a post out there on social media platforms, click on use draft and you can be directly there on your main content dashboard. Rest, you can always have them here with the three dotted buttons. You can edit the draft, you can duplicate the draft and delete the draft. Duplicate draft is one of my favorites, I would say, because duplication is going to make the exact copy of the same draft, and then you can do all the kind of edits to the duplicated draft without actually editing or touching the original draft. So sometimes you really do not want to edit the original draft, but you really want to put your advice or your recommendation, but do not want to actually change the skeleton of the original draft. So you can always duplicate it, put your edits or advices right there, so that later on when the original owner of a draft comes by and look into their drafts, they can always see your duplicated draft and can understand what you were trying to actually reflect on their hard work done right there. So just like that, you can make a number of drafts right here. You can see who created it, what date, what time, who's the owner, is it a team sharing, it's a single only me sharing, so that can always help you. And then further, as I said, the rest, we also have an option of filters right here. Now you can always filter on the basis of team members. So if I really want to see who created what drafts on the basis of different team members, you can enable that check, and then you can find all the team members that are added. Then if you go for the post type check, then you can see that you really want only the textual-based draft, media-based drafts, the drafts that have a link in it, or the draft that has photos and links in it as well. So you can check one type or multiple types right there as well. Next, if you really want to go with social accounts, so now you really want to have a selection of one particular post or two particular posts only. So you can decide, I only want to see the post drafts that are created for Twitter and Instagram, or I really do not, I just want to see it for Instagram. And once you select that, you click done, and all the drafts that have Instagram as common in it will appear right here for you. And you just can simply do so, or clear the filter, and that's totally up to you. You can create new drafts from here as well, so you really do not have to be on the main content dashboard every time. You simply click new draft, it will open up right here, you create the draft, and then save it right here as only me or team sharing. So that will actually help you with creating of the drafts as well. I really want to see if we have any questions, or am I the only one talking right here? So let's see. Okay, I do have some questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. As I said, I'm not very tech savvy. So I have, okay, so we have Neha asking, can we just view posts we have done from Social Champ, or could also see all previous posts? So as I said, with shareable calendar, you can see the previous sent post as well, and you can see the current and sent post, or in case if there is any failed post, then you can see that possibly. Failed post won't be there because these are the posts that possibly are scheduled at the time, and I think we do have an option of failed posts as well. Yeah, okay, so in case any post that has failed in the past will eventually appear in this tab as well. Or you can have all of them reviewed right here. Oh, something that's really important, Neha, right here is that the date range you choose. So if you're choosing the date range of the past, we are going to show all the posts that have been sent or have failed for you. If you're choosing a date range of future, then of course you will have no sent post in there, possibly failed posts, and all you can see are all these scheduled posts which we actually donate with a slight orange color within the Social Champ dashboard. So that's how it is going to be. So I think so, yeah, these are the all questions that I have. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them. Or else, if you are somebody who's going to actually watch this recording later on our platform, in our community, then you can always leave some questions for me, tag me there, and then I can answer you whenever I see them. So I would love to respond to you as soon as I can. I think so that's it for today from my side. This was some basic quick overview about how we actually support all the agencies, all the different organizations, all the people out there who really want to have their team members, their partners, a huge number of social media platforms on board, and actually efficiently use our Social Champs platform for the management and automation of social media platforms. So that's it for today. This is me, Tanya Dalam, signing off. Feel free to get back to us on our different, I would say, sources through our live chat, through the email system, or also this entire beautiful community that we have created on Facebook. And I'll see you guys again. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.